Hey there, my fellow skeptics and believers and everyone in between. Welcome back to another episode of Ghosts in the Machine. In this episode, I'm going to take a short break from talking so much. Basically because I did filming a few months ago, and I'm going to insert it here. What we're talking about today is a CFIIG testing of superpowers. Basically, if you don't know, the CFIIG, which is the Center for Inquiry Investigations Group, has a $500,000 paranormal challenge. Basically, if you think you have some kind of like special ability, like superpower special ability, no radioactive spider bites required. And you can fill out an application on the CFIIG website and see if they'll test you. And you guys get together and you make these protocols and the rules and all that stuff. You work out the entire test beforehand, so both parties agree. I want to stress that because too many people come up to me that are on more of the believer side and they're like, no, these tests aren't fair because it's all the skeptics that are making the rules and it's unfair to the people that, have these abilities. But that's not the case. That is not the case. I've seen it firsthand. Where both parties come together, they agree on the terms, and then they do the test. And this past October in 2023, in Las Vegas, during CFIIG, which was an awesome event, I was able to take part in one of their challenges because one of their participants, one of the applicants for the challenge, lived in Las Vegas. So perfect. They actually scheduled the test. Jim Underdown approached me and asked if I wanted to participate, and I said, hell yeah. I didn't want to just see a test of superpowers. I wanted to see how the CFIIG crew handled the test and handled the applicant. Because, sometimes it can be tense, and, when the test fails, when the people can't perform these superpowers, sometimes there's anxiety, sometimes there's anger, sometimes, there's very unprofessional behavior. And I wanted to see firsthand how this all played out. And I gotta say, from the beginning, Jim and the crew were very professional, very polite, very accommodating, but stuck to their guns and made sure the test protocols were in place and strictly enforced. So that's great. So I'm gonna basically stop talking here. I'm gonna let you watch the video. It's kind of long. We're talking about probably about a half hour or so of footage, and this is footage between myself. I was filming most of the time, and also Ross Blocher from the CFIIG and the awesome podcast, Oh No, Ross and Carrie. So he was filming too. I asked permission from him if I could use his footage, and he said absolutely. So you're going to see at least 2 cameras going, which is great. We cover it all. There's 3 tests. The first one I'm going to let play through because I want you to see the entire test. I want you to see, that they gave her all the time that she needed, well, in the allotted time. And they didn't pressure her. They didn't do anything, out in the ordinary or unprofessional or anything. I want you to see that. The 2 other tests, the second and third test that they perform, I sped up just for time constraints, just so you didn't have to watch another 10 minutes of basically nothing going on. So enjoy it. See it firsthand. Secondhand, basically, from the video, but you'll get to see it how I saw it, and hopefully you enjoy it, and I'll give you some commentary after the video. So roll that footage.
Always find out which way these things are moving on their own.
All right.
Because that happens every day.
Well, we can just tell
maybe I
where to
shouldn't,
put it, which is
because they usually just stick in a place, and if I'm staring, they'll.
I don't want to put it in a place it's going to already.
Does it bother anybody else? You got 5 minutes.
Okay.
It's not stable.
That's what we're supposed to do.
Okay. This should be easy because that one that's above the rest of them,
Above by the west.
directly above the westing,
Uh-huh.
that long skinny one, put it on the other side of the Ferris wheel.
On the other side.
Yeah. So
It'll
5 minutes.
disappear
We
before it
got somebody
gets there,
timing.
though.
I can do
But I
that.
can make only that disappear, but it will disappear before it gets over there. Or
Well,
maybe
no, because remember the test is you got to move it.
I gotta move exactly. But if I'm moving it, because my gift is to make the clouds disappear from the sky or in block of the sun, because the sun will react as well and get brighter. Okay, so this is already disappearing, so I can't get it to go there. But all of this, I can physically make this go this way, or I can physically make that go that way.
Well, but the test that we want to do is the one where you move it over to there. And
Over
then
to
back
there. And that.
in 5 minutes.
It'll disappear. That's my thing. I can do it, but my gift is not to move it. It's to make them go away.
Well, let's say, well, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing.
Okay. But I can move this way,
let's
and
see
then I
you
can
do
make
that.
it go the other way.
So
if
we
that works.
understand in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Let's see what you can do in 5 minutes.
Okay. Let me
And
use my
line,
phone.
skinny one above the west. And
Can we go closer?
Sure.
I got the 5-minute timer, so.
Okay.
Thank you for recording.
Kenny's got it too.
The reason we don't want them disappearing only is because clouds.
But I can't move them and make them like normal and this way. And then that way I can do the opposite direction. But eventually they'll disintegrate like they're doing today. So you want me to push this over there? Is that what we're doing?
Maybe like over the dome.
Or past the dome. Past the dome? Yeah. That's fine. All right.
Let me know when you're starting.
Okay. And 5 minutes to push all of this?
Just that one skinny one, not the rest of them. Just the
Just
one
the
skinny
skinny
one.
one.
Over the dome.
Standing next to Kenny Middle. And it's always good to see a test in action, Kenny.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this is nice. We're getting on the scene. We're giving someone a chance to prove what they claim to do. And we're seeing it live. And we're recording and we're taking every precaution. So, we'll see what happens.
Okay. Just stand back here and see what's next.
then I gotta move it here.
Over the dome.
Okay, because I see when I'm looking through here and seeing where it's going, my energy is pushing back here. So it's lifting all of this up and not really focusing on this right here. So I was trying to think of where I can see that I am. See that little straight line over there? I can see my energy is in C. Not this big one, but over there, that's snatching some of, that's snatching my energy right there. This one is working, but it's thick. So it's taking a long time to spread out, and then it'll eventually disappear. But that one in the back,
You're talking about the one under the big cloud.
under that big one, that
behind
thin, yeah. And it's something like sticking at the top.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, let's try that. That'll be the next time. You want to start the timer?
I'm ready. Tell me when.
It's this large one right here.
It's like
It's
got
one
a
right
ship bridge
underneath.
on it.
It looks like a little battleship.
So there's like the western, and then those
Underneath
two
the big cloud.
buildings, and then it's like slightly to the
So it
left
looks
of
like
that
a
at the
whale.
bottom.
Right above
Yeah,
that.
a whale with water
Right
spout.
above that pointy spot.
Water spout
Yeah.
whale,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
I can try to move that like over the tip of those mountains or something like that, or over this building right here. See, it's two right here, and it's one.
That's not close.
Okay, I need to move it over there.
To the dome.
In 5
Okay,
minutes.
start the timer.
Started.
Starting now.
Yeah.
It's disappearing. It might not last. Because my energy is in the back, not like in the front yet. Okay.
Okay.
God, we're not having any success. I mean, I would even let you pick one, but again, we would have to see like a radical, unnatural movement of where the clouds go.
Okay.
Because we can all see they're all moving a little bit, but
Yeah, they're disappearing.
Yeah,
That's what they're
some-
gonna dissolve eventually. Like none of this will be there.
yeah.
Like
that's
I
it.
can make all of this that we see right here go away.
Well, let's do one more try. If you
Okay.
can make this whole cloud bunch disappear in 5 minutes,
Yeah, the whole thing, 'cause some of them
even though
are.
that was over.
They are. But see for that big pieces in the middle, they're coming from that piece. So I can see where my energy is working towards them and how they're moving. Those will be gone in a second. Okay, I can see them fading down. This will be gone in a second. Those in the back is feeding from, I don't know the science, but fluffing up more from the ones in the middle and spreading.
Which one will be going in a second? This top?
Like
This
this
top layer?
side, this grayish, that
Yeah.
white, the white thick color is density. The gray color is like fading away. Those will be gone
So
in
you
a
can
second.
change that scene within a second.
What about
Got it.
what about everything to the left of the post? Where we're
From this post right here, everything right here,
make that disappear in 5 minutes.
in 5 minutes.
Okay.
From the post.
From the post and keep your position. Well, I'll keep my
Take a
position.
standard position.
From the post. Okay, let's see. From the post. what they want to. So because again, I don't know what I'm doing. I just know that I'm able to do.
Doing something.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I know eventually they'll go, but they have like a mind of their own as well. So it's
Yeah,
like we're
that's
working
true.
together.
Yeah.
And it's not just me controlling them, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. The thing is for our test, it has to be like so obvious. Just because it's so much money that we have on the line. You understand what I'm saying? So it can't be subtle. This is subtle.
And like we said before, clouds are always moving. They're always coming in and out of existence on their own, whether you're doing anything or not. That's why it would have to be something really quite extraordinarily unusual to see before that would. Any reason why you're not having success today? Any idea?
Because I technically don't have the skill to, or I don't want to say the skill, but I don't know what I am doing to make them move, even though I know that they will do that. I know that I can make them disappear and spread out and work with them so they can't just leave. I know I can do that.
And you don't think they're just leaving because they would be leaving anyway?
No, because they stick here for all day until I will do it. Like, until I put my energy on it. Like, I can pick what side of the valley. That's why there's no clouds. I usually just clear it. Yesterday it was really, really cloudy, so I was happy. I was like, it wasn't going to be clouds today. So I left some on my way, but they eventually just disappear. Even though I'm not working on this right here, this is disappearing now. The ones underneath that, and this. And like I said, they do grow from one another, like that big, the big part right here, right over the western. But I don't know, like I can make that part disappear. I couldn't do it in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, we sure didn't see anything that happened that seemed unusual. You know, it just seems like clouds doing their thing. So this is not a pass for the preliminary test.
Can I get another try to make this from this part to that part disappear?
Yeah, I guess so.
So if all of this is gone from that part, because I know these clouds are coming over to that pole on this side. But from this line right here, you see where it's gray?
Yeah.
That's going to be gone in a second.
Well, when you
I'd pick a new target.
I'm not a second. But it is, I can see it disintegrating with my eyes.
Yeah, but we see that too. But that's going to happen whether you're standing here or not.
Right, but it is only because it was a big array of clouds initially. It's only disappearing from this side because I'm focusing my energy on this side instead of that side.
Also, keep in mind that you get 3 out of 5, and you tried 3 already, and you didn't. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I think as far as the test goes, it's over. You did not pass. I mean, if you want to show us something extraordinary, we can stand there a few more minutes. But
well, no, not if I'm not going to pass the test. I maybe, since I know my energy is in this part, I can maybe move all of this on that side.
In 5 minutes?
In 5 minutes. Or it'll just be gone.
But it won't be part of the test because that's already passed. Now, the other alternative thing is we can, like Jim said, sit here and you can show us that. But
test is over.
the test is over.
Yeah, that was my only concern, the test. Because my concern was the money, so I can know why I'm doing this. So I can get additional help. So just showing what I can do, that really doesn't.
Okay.
I don't get any.
Okay. Well, the other alternative is everybody that if anybody fails in 1 year, you can try it again.
Okay.
And in that 1 year, you can practice and do what you need to do.
Now you maybe you have a little bit better idea exactly what we're asking. That we're going to ask for something extraordinary because none of us is seeing anything that we sort of don't see.
Right. And also, too, my ability is with the sun. And usually I can manipulate those clouds when it's in front of the sun. Today, they're over there. So I really can't do as much that I know that I can do with those. Like, I know those will disappear eventually, and maybe all of this on the valley. Those are coming in, so they might mix.
Can I ask, do you mean you have to be, the clouds have to be between you and the sun? Because technically the clouds are always in front of the sun.
It's like a haze in front of it now. If I was to do this, the sun would brighten.
Yeah, okay.
So it'll remove whatever haze is in front of there. Or if those bunch of clouds were in front of the sun, I can move them a lot faster to this way or that way because my connection is directly with the sun. But over there, I'm just dissolving, and that's not the gift. The gift is to unblock.
It's more
That's it.
difficult.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's it.
Well,
That's a
tell you what,
different
I would suggest that you practice for a year, reapply a year from today, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, and
Because
bear in
actually we'll be
mind-
here next year, so
Bear in mind, they've got to start moving faster than the rest of the clouds. So as you're practicing, keep our minds set in mind that we want to see something separate over and do something that isn't happening with the rest of them. Because otherwise, we're just looking at this and like, that looks like a
Yeah.
regular cloud scene to me. I don't see anything unusual happening.
Everything you've described is
It's already
naturally.
happening.
It happens
but
anyway.
If it was in front of the sun, that would be easier.
Well, maybe we work that into the test next
Yeah.
time, where it's got to be in between. And you should practice that way, and maybe even write it down. I am going to make it move from this way to that way.
Well, I can do that in front of the sun. It's just that this is not. But if it was in front of the sun, yeah, no problem. Like this is going towards the sun, that'll be gone in a second. This little piece right here, because it's going to attack the sun, and that is the gift. Like it's going to cover the rays, and if it blocks me and the sun, it's going to be gone.
If you want to try shooting that with your phone sometime, it's not going to count toward the test.
Oh no, that
But
was
just
my
to show
gift.
us what you're talking about.
Like this. It's gravitating towards the sun. So if I twinkle that away, it's not going to make it there. And usually that's what it does. Like these are probably just here, and they'll eventually come in to the valley this evening.
Right.
Are those little things? But they usually wait. The whole object of the sky. See this one? It's on its way. So it's going to go this way. I can push it out the other way. That's the key. This way is where I get it.
So, can I ask you? Can I ask
15
why?
In 15 minutes, this little thing right here is not going to make his head in here. I can make it go the other way.
So
Or
when you
just disappear
completed the first and second test, and then we did the third test when you said you could make that disappear, that was your condition. You said you could make all of that disappear,
I
but
could,
you didn't
yeah.
bring into the sun. You didn't bring any detail about the sun.
Well, that
into
was
it.
my my statement or my thing initially anyway.
Right.
But
right.
when I said that I can make them disappear, I'm
Right.
like, I could. I mean, it disappeared. It'll be gone in a sec. Not when I keep saying a second.
it's still there.
But it's
Yeah.
still like dissolving. But from my experience in dealing with the valley, I just put up those clouds over here, those over here. Again, it's working to get this way.
So-
it's all working together as I'm working with
You
it,
live
so
here.
it'll be gone.
You live.
Uh-huh.
You're local.
Yes.
So do you think maybe you're misperceiving
No.
because you lived here and you're used to what's going
No,
on?
because it's only been going on for 2 years.
Okay.
When the moon was out last night, there was a bright light in front of the moon. It was between me and the moon. I moved it in like a minute.
Okay.
But it was the light between us that allowed me to be able to move it out the way.
All right.
Like that.
So
right,
I would
well,
suggest more practice.
Do the practice and
Get it on video.
yeah, if you want to send
I mean,
us
I got a
video.
lot of videos. It's just up to interpretation. Like my video from last night, where I was in front of the moon. I moved them away from the moon last night.
We don't know if
okay, send that to me.
I'll show you right now.
we don't know
No,
what
I
it
don't need to see it
Oh,
now.
okay.
Just send it to me because we got to get back.
Oh, okay.
And like we were saying earlier, like if, in the video, if you can say, here's exactly what's going to happen.
What I'm gonna do.
say it beforehand.
Yeah,
Look your,
like playing pool, you got to call
Right.
the pocket, and that will mean a lot to us to see that.
Okay. Yeah, I can do it.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate it.
Get your stuff. Whoever's got stuff.
And now I know exactly.
And like I said, since we're going to be coming here next year, we'll be in that hotel next year.
Okay.
That'll be a year from now. So if you want to set up something then, that way you don't have to come to Los Angeles. Normally, we always do the test in Los Angeles. You've got to come to us.
Yeah, we were kind of lucky that we got a day that there actually were clouds out there.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of days with a complete blue sky, right?
Yeah, because I released them all right. And
Also-
I got rid of that hurricane.
You can actually come here and practice too.
The sky
I mean, you know where we're going to test it, so.
But when you said I know I have to show you guys that it's extraordinary, you know, but I still don't know what I'm doing.
Well, we need you to wait here only because, you know, we have so many people that try.
Right.
And there's only a few of us that are doing the testing. We just physically don't have time
Yeah.
to do, like, if you wanted to, let me try it tomorrow, let me try the next, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know, I'm just looking for information about it. More than money.
You know,
Like to get help with what am I doing exactly?
they make filters for your camera that if you're talking about being in front of the sun, you can better point it at the sun, and the filter will take out the glare of the sun.
Yeah, you gotta. I don't know what you're talking about, but it might be lens flare, because that's a natural occurrence.
No. It's not a lens, because I can look directly into the sun and I can see other balls or objects or a solid ball sometimes behind the sun.
Well, just in
I
terms
also, this right here, if I say you're in Los Angeles and we're on a live call or something, I can clear the sky there or make it stop raining or whatever I'm doing here, I can do on the other side of the phone. Like send my energy through the electronic device like that.
I'm just saying your camera, if you're pointing it at the sun, is
going to get lens flare.
Filter, yeah.
Yeah, because
Just
it's
so
hard for it to film it.
it'll take a better picture if you have a little filter in front of it. Because it's too much light for the camera to.
All right, so that was the video of the test. That was the entire test. You guys saw everything that the CFIIG does, how they conduct the test, and instead of just me giving you a summary of my final thoughts, I figured I'd bring on the head man himself, Jim Underdown, who conducts these tests, and get his take as well. So thank you, Jim, for joining me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, glad to be here, and it was fun having you on the test itself. That was it's always an eye-opening experience for people who see one of these for the first time.
It is, because we only get your perspective. You know, we really don't get to see all the ins and outs. I mean, you usually post like a couple pictures of it, and we get the write-up of it, but we never actually get to see it. And like I've known you for a couple of years, so I know that you're very professional when you do these tests, very polite to everyone, but not everyone can see that. So it's nice to actually get this. It's a good half hour worth of watching this test, even though I sped up a few parts because it gets boring after a while, but yeah. I left everything in there. So I wanted to ask you a couple questions. Basically, the first question is, how do you feel about the test overall? Like, was it fair? Did it go well? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it was fair. We conducted the test exactly in a way that she had agreed to do it. And we gave her every opportunity. We may have even given her some extra time at one point, I think. It went as we expected. We expect everyone to fail. Everyone does fail. But yeah, just in terms of being nice to people, we're very gentle with them. Sometimes people are a bit deluded, or they're at least mistaken about what they think their skills are. So, we consider this a teaching opportunity. And, we hope that some people will take a little bit of a clue or a cue from what happens, and maybe give some second thoughts to whether or not they have these abilities or not.
I agree. You guys were very polite, professional, courteous. You and Stan were kind of in charge of this, right? I think Stan was the one that was running the test, right?
Stan's the one. He was our first responder, so Stan did all the negotiations with her from pretty much almost the beginning. Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, everyone can see from the video, like, you guys were just polite and professional. Yes, you gave her every opportunity within reason. And like, that's something that I point out early on. Like, Stan, once we were up on the parking garage and talking about it, she almost tried to change the protocol. Like instead of moving the clouds, she tried to change it to make the clouds disappear. And Stan was like right on it, like that's not the original test that we discussed. Like this is what we're here for.
Yeah, normally, in any good scientific experiment, you don't change the protocol at all, ever. So, I feel like we have that right. In this case, we gave her a little bit of leeway because the way the weather was happening that day, clouds seemed to be very stable on their own.
Right.
So there wasn't any real danger to us for letting her change it like that.
Right. And what do you think about her reaction after the test? When it was all done, she was given 5 chances. She only did 3 because she failed each of those 3. And her reaction, because you asked her like straight up, but politely, I want to add, like, what do you think? Why do you think you didn't pass the test? So what do you think about her reaction to that?
Yeah, well, this is one of the things, like, I think the general public doesn't realize and often gets wrong. They think most people who are taking these tests are actually out to trick us, when in fact, as I've said many times, so far as of this date, no one has tried to pull the wool over our eyes, use some subterfuge, or trick us in any way at all. The people who show up for these things really believe they could do it. So they're often a little bit surprised or confused because for whatever reason they think they have these powers in the first place, they really do believe they can do it. So when they get tested in a third party situation like this, they're often kind of shocked. So we always want to kind of know what's going through their heads at the time, and also to try to get them on record of saying, I don't know what happened, because a lot of times they come back in a day or a week or something, and they do say that we tried to cheat them somehow or we were unfair. So I want to kind of get them on the record of saying, geez, I don't know what happened.
Right. And that's good. Have it all on record and say, like if they come back and say you guys were cheating, you have a record of it saying, well, look, let's watch the tape. Let's go to the video.
Yeah, we record everything, and sometimes, our investigators are in charge of watching very specific things. So if there's something unusual or some funny business going on, we try to have somebody on that watching just in case.
Awesome. One final question I want to ask you before I let you go. On social media, after this write-up, you wrote it up for CFIIG. You put it up on there and put it out on social media. And there was at least one comment on this. And this is something I've seen before on other tests, that someone commented saying that, how's it feel to exploit people with mental disabilities or mental illness and stuff? And actually, like, accusing you guys of deliberately picking people that have mental problems. So how do you respond to that?
Yeah, well, first of all, we don't pick anybody. Once in a while we'll go after a high profile psychic or something like that. But all these people come to us. They are looking to win our $500,000 paranormal challenge. They are coming to us. We address every single application that comes in. We read every single application. We contact, unless they're a joke or someone's obviously just trying to mess with us, right. Some of those we don't deal with. But everyone who's sincerely trying to apply for this test, we give them as fair an opportunity to be tested as possible within certain limitations. Not every single claim can be tested, but we give them a shot. So that's the first answer is, and by the way, to exploit someone, we're not really getting much out of this. We're getting another result out of any, but we're not making any money on it. We're not putting on TV. We're not putting them on YouTube in a way that's going to make us any money. So they're coming to us.
Right.
That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you really want to be technical about it, even if they are mentally ill, all these people are highly functioning. Who is to say that mental illness precludes having paranormal ability?
Right.
Technically, you could be mentally ill and have paranormal ability. So if we just start saying a priori to say this person's crazy, so we're not going to test you, that also would be unfair. And by the way, we don't know these people well enough to say they're mentally ill in the first place. We do have mental health professionals. We have 3 psychologists on our team. And yes, we do sometimes get some indications that there may be something going on there. But, we haven't sat down with many sessions or had a professional relationship with these people that we could actually make a diagnosis.
Right.
So to sit on our, on our Monday morning quarterback and say, this person's mentally ill or that person's crazy or whatever, we don't feel comfortable in doing that either. So the only thing left to do is to just sort of open it up to everybody, be as nice and gentle and fair as possible, and give everyone a shot at it.
Right. What really bothered me was reading these comments and the assumption of the commenters that there is some kind of mental illness going on. Like,
yeah.
You're definitely playing the seatbelt quarterback, or like your armchair quarterback, making this claim, and you have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
What's your mental health degree? Are you a psychiatrist or a psychologist? You can't just watch a video or read some result and think
Make
know
a diagnosis. That. Yeah, it's kind of silly. But I'm glad that we had the chance to address that, and you could set the record straight and explain exactly what's going on. But overall, I mean, great test. I enjoyed it. It was fun to be part of that finally in person, to see it just unfold in front of me, and be able to participate and comment. I commented a few times, and just to see the whole results from start to finish, which is great. That's great. So thank you for inviting me. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're always welcome. And, anytime you're in the neighborhood and want to be a part of a test, you can jump right in.
Absolutely. And I'll still, like anybody from New York that applies, if you want me to check them out, I'm here. So I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, cool. Thank you again. I appreciate it, and take care.
All right, Kenny, you too. Take care.
All right, there you have it. This is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something, especially about the CFIIG and Jim Underdown and Stan and all the rest of the crew that took part in this test, and how polite and professional they really are during these tests. And I can't thank them enough for inviting me along. And special thanks to Ross Blocher that let me use his footage while he took video during the test. That was great. That really helped out and make this video even better. And that's it. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to let you get back to your day, and I'll see you in the next episode. Remember, never stop learning.
Thank you.